Class 9 English, The Lost Child. Think about it. Good morning, children. Today, since we have finished reading the chapter, The Lost Child, we are going to recapitulate what we have learned in the entire chapter. Look at the first question. What are the things the child sees on his way to the fair? Why does he lag behind? Now, what are the things, if you remember? The child lags behind as the three of them walk towards the fair. Who are the three? The father, the mother, and the child himself. Now, the things that he sees on his way are, you remember the toys in the shops that are all lined up. He was fascinated by it. Then, what are the other things? The next thing is, he sees the flowering mustard field. Then, the next thing is, he also sees a group of dragonflies bustling about on their gaudy purple wings, intercepting the flight of a lone black bee or butterfly in search of sweetness from the flowers. He wants to catch them. He wanted to catch the dragonfly, but he did not. Then the next thing he saw is, what is the next thing he sees? He sees insects, little insects and worms along the footpath that were teeming out from their hiding places to enjoy the sunshine. Then, the other thing that he sees is, please try to remember, he sees flowers as he enters the grove where the parents were waiting for him. He sees flowers, and the flowers fell on him. He collected them. And there is yet another thing that he saw. He saw doves. He heard the cooing of doves and ran towards his parents and he shouted, "The dove, the dove." Now, as they were going to the fair, the child always lags behind. Why is it so? It is because he wanted them. He wanted them. He wanted the flowers. He wanted the toys. He wanted to catch the dragonflies. But he did not do any of the things that he liked, he desired, because he knew that it would be opposed by the parents. So, this is the answer to the first question. You are going to reconstruct it and reframe it. I'm just giving the answers. In the fair, he wants many things. What are they? Why does he move on without waiting for an answer? So when it comes to the fair, he wanted many things. The first thing he wanted was the sweets. There was a hawker calling out, "Gulab Jamun, Rasgola, Barfi, Jalebi, etc." Then he wanted a garland of gulmohar. There was the seller calling out, "A garland of gulmohar, a garland of gulmohar." He was drawn towards it. He wanted that garland. Then there was a balloon. The balloon man was selling balloons, different colored balloons, rainbow colored balloons. He did not get them. there was a snake charmer again. There was a snake charmer. Then there was a roundabout. Now, why didn't he take the sweets? He wanted barfi. He wanted barfi. But he knew the answer of the parents. The parents would say he was greedy. He wanted a gulmohar flower garland. But he would be refused to buy those flowers because they would say that they were cheap flowers. He wanted the balloons, but he knew the answer of the parents. They would never buy him the balloons because they would say he was too old to play with such toys. So he walked on. Then there's a snake charmer. He wanted to listen to the music of the snake charmer. But the parents had forbidden him to hear such coarse music as the snake charmer played. But when the child saw the roundabout, he could not control anymore, and he made his request very boldly. I want to go on the roundabout, please, father, mother. So this is the answer. Once again, please reconstruct it in a very nice manner. Then the third question is, when does he realize that he has lost his way? How have his anxiety and insecurity been described? When did he realize he has lost his way? When he made his bold request that I want to go on the roundabout. And there was no father, there was no mother to give him their reply. So it is then that he realized that he was alone, that he has lost his way. Now, how have his anxiety and insecurity been described? The child cried. A full, deep cry rose within his dry throat. And there was a sudden jerk in his body. And he started running, crying out in real fear, "Mother, father!" His tears rolled down from his eyes, hot and fierce tears. His face was flushed and it was convulsed with fear. He was panic-stricken. He ran from one side and then to the other, here and there, in all directions, without knowing where to go. All the while calling out, "Mother, father." His dress became muddy. His turban, yellow turban, came untied. He was running here and there among the people who were talking, saying if he could find his parents. People did not know that he has lost his parents, and they seemed to be laughing and talking just for the sake of laughing and talking. He runs to the shrine. He runs through the legs of the people, trying to see if the parents were there. He might have been trampled. So this is how the insecurity and his anxiety was described. Next question. Why does the lost child lose interest in the things that he had wanted earlier? Why does the lost child lose interest? Remember, one stranger picked him up and he was taken back to all the things that he had wanted to buy earlier. He was taken to the balloon man, he was taken to the sweet seller, he was taken to the snake charmer, then he was taken to the roundabout. He was taken to the man who was selling gulmohar garland. But none of these things interested him any longer. These become secondary to him. His priority, the first thing that comes to his mind is to find his parents. He's feeling very lost. He's lost interest in all other things. The only thing he has in his mind was to be with his parents. Then the next question, the last question, what do you think happens in the end? Does a child find his parents? So this is where, children, your creativity, your creative thinking comes. Please, you can make your own story. You can give your own ending. Does a child find his parents? It's up to you whether you make him find his parents or not. Okay? And please add some story in your ending. It should not be just ending of for the sake of giving some ending. There should be some story in it. So this is all for think about it. And for homework, please do write the answers of question number 3 and 4. 1 and 2, yes, you can keep in your mind. We have recapitulated well enough. But question number 3 and 4 are of importance. And so please write them down in your homework. Please do your homework. Thank you.